Hello and welcome to ESAT. I am Ngudu Walde with the news. Ethiopia says it will rebuild its navy on the international waters of Red Sea and the Indian Ocean 27 years after it became landlocked following the independence of Eritrea and the ensuing disbandment of its once strong navy. Deputy Etat-Major General Birhanu Jula told the Ethiopian news agency that the country, which once had Africa's leading navy, is now envisioning to establish a modern navy force to augment its defense forces. He said it was high time that Ethiopia, like other regional forces, made its military presence in the region. Several countries in the Gulf have shown interest in building military stations in the Horn of Africa region. Rich Gulf countries have recently moved to establish ports and military installations in the waters of the region and in countries like Somaliland, Puntland, Djibouti, and Eritrea. The Etat-Major said his country needs a strong navy that would defend any aggression. Ethiopia established its navy in 1958, then called the Imperial Ethiopian Navy. It was disbanded following the independence of Eritrea in 1991 as the country became landlocked. In July, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed hinted his intentions to build a naval force. A former opposition political figure who returned home after 7 years in exile said now that there are positive changes in her country, she will work for the establishment of institutions crucial for guaranteeing and sustaining democratic rights, justice, and freedom of the press. Birtukan Mideksa was once the popular leader of the opposition in the 2005 controversial elections where members of her party, including her, were thrown into jail. She was imprisoned twice by the government of the late Meles Zenawi, who oversaw the imprisonment and torture of members of opposition political parties, critical journalists, and thousands who opposed his rule. She was forced into exile and lived in the United States for 7 years. Birtukan received a hero's welcome in Addis Ababa today, where in her brief statement to local media, she said she returned home convinced that there were some changes in her country. In order to guarantee that the rights of citizens is respected and rule of law prevails, we need institutions of democracy to sustain them, she told reporters in Addis Ababa. She said there are no political prisoners at the moment. Journalists are no more in jail. We need to establish institutions that will work to ensure that it will remain that way. That is according to a statement by Birtukan Mideksa. A former federal judge, Birtukan Mideksa, was also a founding member of Unity for Justice and Democracy, UNDNET, and vice chair of the Coalition for Unity and Democracy, CUD. Asked if she had accepted an offer from the government that she would be leading Ethiopia's electoral board based on rumors in the political grapevine, Mideksa said she had no comment on that. The Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, has hit out at the state of press freedom in Tanzania hours after two of its members of staff were released after being briefly held by the country's immigration authorities. CPJ said the two, South African Angela Quintal and Kenyan Muthoki Mumo, went to Tanzania to call for Tanzanian authorities to halt their ongoing crackdown against the free press. Tanzanian authorities say two members of staff from the Committee to Protect Journalists were detained because they had broken the conditions of their entry permits by holding meetings with local journalists. The government of President John Magufuli is facing mounting criticism because of its increasing intolerance of political dissent. Earlier this week, the European Union recalled its ambassador to Tanzania because of what it called the deterioration of human rights and rule of law. That ends the news. Thanks for watching.